everyone, welcome back to my channel. Josh Duggar's trial is approaching. It is on November 30th, just a couple of weeks away, and the prosecution, they have made it known that they want to use the fact that he admitted to molesting his younger sisters and another unknown female. They plan on using that information in the trial. And now Josh Duggar and his attorneys, they have filed some court documents basically stating that it can't be used because it possibly didn't even happen at all, despite the fact that Josh Duggar admitted it, despite the fact that his family went on to talk about it on national television. His parents did interviews about it. His sisters came forward to discuss the fact that they were his victims, but they had chosen to forgive him. So it's really just crazy that he is now claiming that it can't be used because it possibly didn't happen. Now, unfortunately, in the world of like trials and things and legal situations, there's so many loopholes that you can find that you could literally, murder someone, but because of a loophole, you won't be found guilty of it. And I think that's sad. I think the way it should be is if you are guilty, you are guilty. There's no loophole to pull you out of it. If you admit to sexually abusing someone or molesting someone, you did it. There's no loophole to say that you didn't do it, but unfortunately there is, and that's the way that it works. So in my personal opinion, I do think there's a possibility that, the judge may not allow the older, situation into the trial. I think he should. She should allow it in because I think it shows like a history, but I'm not so sure that they will. So let's get into it. The Ashley Realities Roundup put up an article yesterday. Josh Duggar's lawyers argue that he may not have molested his underage sisters and another minor after all, despite the fact that he admitted it in 2015. Josh Duggar and his legal team, they are literally doing everything that they can to make sure the previous molestation of minors, the situation that happened years ago, to make sure that situation stays out of his upcoming child sex abuse materials trial, claiming that the ancient allegations from Josh's teen years have no relevance to the crimes that he is going to trial for this month. That's what they're claiming. Josh and his legal team, they're claiming there's no relevance there. I admitted to molesting underage girls who were my sisters and another minor, but it has no relevance to the fact that I was caught possessing and receiving CP. No relevance there. Nothing, right? Mind blowing, you guys. In fact, though, Josh says in new court documents that those molestations may have not even happened at all. This is wild. It's just crazy. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, but it's really crazy. Now, we've talked about it before that the prosecution, they've made it known that they plan on using the fact that Josh admitted to, but was never charged for, molesting 4 of his underage sisters, as well as another minor, female minor, back when he was just a teen himself. The prosecutor asked the court to use Josh's history of molestation during his trial. As they say, it shows his alleged sexual interest in young girls. I agree. Now, in new court documents, Josh and his attorneys, they're claiming that Josh may not have even molested his sisters and the unnamed minor girl at all, claiming that the 2006 police report was redacted and it didn't show the victims' ages or their names. So the team argued in the court documents that because of this, what Josh did may not even be a criminal act. They also brought up the fact that Josh was never charged with any crimes related to this incident. Now, the police report, it was a 2006 police report. That's when it was filed. It was exposed in 2015. And that's what led to Josh, his parents, as well as 2 of his victims, his sisters, Jessa and Jill, to go public and admit that Josh committed the crimes that were detailed in the police report. Ginger and Joanna later came forward in a lawsuit as 2 more of Josh's victims. Still, Josh and his legal team, they state that it's not clear if the uncharged allegations of Josh's molesting of the 5 young girls were actually committed. They're not sure. Even though everybody came forward to say that it happened, they're still not sure. And if they were committed, it's unclear if the actions actually constitute a crime of sexual assault in the 2nd degree under Arkansas state law. So we don't know if it happened, even though everybody came forward. And if it did happen, we're not sure it would actually constitute a crime. Okay. So the report, the 2006 report, it's heavily redacted. And more importantly, it doesn't include any names or dates of birth for anyone involved in the situation. So it would have made it hard to say who the victims were or what their ages were. So it would make it difficult for the court to make a ruling on this to determine whether Josh actually committed the acts alleged in the report, or whether the conduct, if committed, constituted a crime, particularly in light of the affirmative defenses clearly set out in the statute. So the fact that it was redacted would make it hard for any judge to say he committed a crime. There were no names, there were no ages on there, dates of births. So it was just stating this is what happened, not we were this age, he was this age, XYZ. So Josh and his team further argue that the 2006 allegations are ancient and completely irrelevant to what Josh is on trial for, which is receiving and possessing CP. They feel that using Josh's history will mislead the jury in the upcoming trial. Josh and his attorneys argue that now they're not even sure if Josh even committed the alleged acts in the 2006 police report. What they're saying now is a very different story from what Josh and the family stated back in 2015 when they all went public and did these interviews. So when the scandal was discovered, TLC canceled 19 Kids and Counting. Josh released a statement in which he confessed that the allegations were true. He admitted that he acted inexcusably and that he hurt others, including my family and close friends. Josh's full statement reads as follows: 12 years ago, as a young teenager, I acted inexcusably, for which I am extremely sorry and deeply regret. I hurt others, including my family and close friends. I confess this to my parents, who took several steps to help me address the situation. We spoke with the authorities where I confessed my wrongdoings, and my parents arranged for me and those affected by my actions to receive counseling. I understood that if I continued down this road, that I would end up ruining my life. Well, here we are, buddy. Back 12 years ago, our family went through one of the most difficult times of our lives, Jim, Bob, and Michelle said in a joint statement. When Josh was a young teenager, he made some very bad mistakes, and we were shocked. We had tried to teach him right from wrong. That dark and difficult time caused us to seek God like never before. Josh's wife, Anna, also released a statement as well, saying that she was aware of Josh's past mistakes. She said, I can imagine the shock many of you are going through reading this. I remember feeling the same shock. When my family and I first visited the Duggar home, Josh shared his past teenage mistakes. I was surprised at his openness and humility, and at the same time, didn't know why he was sharing it. For Josh, he wanted not just me, but my parents to know who he really was, even every difficult past mistake. She later talked about this again on an early episode of Counting On. Jim, Bob, and Michelle, they did an interview with Megyn Kelly about Josh's past actions as a teen. Jill and Jessa also did an interview with Megyn Kelly as well. Or it was actually the same episode. They had like this special, and first it was Jim, Bob, and Michelle, and then it was the girls, I do believe. I will try to find that on YouTube, and I'll try to link it in the description box below for anyone that hasn't seen it. You guys can go check it out. Earlier this month, the prosecutors notified the court that they did intend to introduce the evidence about Josh's molestation hearing into this new trial. In the court filing, it said specifically the government notices its intent to introduce evidence that in approximately 2002-2003, the defendant attempted to and did commit a crime as defined by Arkansas state law involving contact between any part of a defendant's body and a child's genitals or anus, namely sexual assault in the second degree. Adding that the evidence will include testimony that the defendant was investigated for, admitted to, and received counseling for touching and sexually molesting multiple minor females, including at least one instance involving the digital penetration of a minor. The court documents, which were filed on November 3rd, state that the evidence will be used to show that Josh's propensity to commit the charged child sex offense. Evidence of the defendant's molestation of and sexual interest in minor girls, including in this case girls in the approximate age range of the victims depicted in the child sexual abuse material the defendant downloaded or attempted to download from the internet, the court documents state. In response to the prosecution's request, Josh and his legal team argued that there is no question the allegations at issue arise at a time when Josh was just a minor, but the allegations at issue in the case arise at a time when Duggar was in his 30s. Josh and his lawyers are also arguing that in addition to the police report being unlawfully leaked, his conduct in that crime sheds no light on whether he knowingly received or possessed alleged child porn on 3 days in 2019, as the indictment alleges. Josh's trial, like I've stated, it begins November 30th. None of his victims have spoken out regarding the latest statement. But I just think it's absurd, you guys. I don't know how to break down court documents. All I can do is just kind of read through them. I can read the Ashley's articles, kind of go over those with you guys. But if you really want to know what each court document means, Emily D. Baker is the best channel for that. But I'm going to be keeping up with the trial. I really wanted to go. I was looking up the address to where the trial will be held. It's about 5 hours away from me, so I'm not sure if I'd be able to. But, we're still kind of looking into it. But I would love to go and kind of bring back to you guys what exactly is going on. Either way, I think it is crazy that they are now claiming that not only should it not be used, but it possibly never even happened to begin with. Even though we have the proof out there, Josh has admitted it, his wife has spoken on it, his mother and his sisters have spoken on it. It's mind-blowing to me. You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Also, to know that the defense team could possibly find some sort of loophole to make sure this is not used in court blows my mind as well. What do you guys think about it? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.